At this point, what we want to do before we dive into the program is we also want to honor our elder, Nathan Phillips, for the events that recently have transpired. What I'm going to do before I call up Nathan and the others that were there with him, and then some other individuals who will make some presentations to Nathan, is I want to read the official statement that the Indigenous Peoples Movement issued yesterday. And that statement is, Indigenous Peoples Movement started a grassroots coalition to eliminate the borders around our injustice. On January 18, 2019, we accomplished that. The march and rally warranted the attention of 10,000 people in Washington, D.C. With over 10 solidarity marches globally, people from around the world, including, but not limited to, Brazil, Canada, Australia, and Haiti, united in awakening of consciousness that we are more connected than divided. We did not only discuss the similarities of corporate greed and governmental power, but we also were affected by military and police abuse. The world saw, whether it was live media or social media, that the fight ahead of us is not that big of an endeavor if we are united as one. We are also grateful that for the first time in Washington, D.C., on the same steps that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "I had a dream," that we could help make that dream become a reality. That black, brown, yellow, white, and red nations were able to come full circle. One thing we know as Indigenous people is our connection to the Creator and His creations. We know that we inherently possess power, resilience, and love in our DNA. It's part of our gift. What I would like to now do is bring up Mr. Nathan Phillips. And there are a couple of folks, you know who you are, who are also going to come up at this point and present Nathan with some things. Let's give it up for Nathan now.
Chape was staying up there, she was up there. Mini Tehioi, Amachapi. Na, Mini Yuhanaju, Amachapi. I am a woman who stands by the water and woman who loves the water. Those are my given names for my family and my people. I come from Standing Rock. I'm the camp organizer for Ocheti Shakoni, who led the charge, as we always have among our people. At that camp, people came from all over the world, and they went to the front lines for us in a good and peaceful way. 40 years ago, we marched in the Trail of Broken Treaties, and we weren't given permits, and we weren't given camping. So we've never been a strategically planned organizational structure. But we represented the treaties, and we came, and when we didn't have the accommodations, we sat inside the U.S. Department of Interior building, and we stayed there. So eventually, everyone left, and we were there. But we came with 20 points, and one of them was the Indian Religious Freedom Act. It took us to defy the policies, but for 60 years, we were not allowed to practice our religion. We're the only people in the world who have required an act of Congress for religious freedom. The Indian Child Welfare Act, Health, Education, and we demanded a congressional office so that we could have a liaison with the Congress, who is our treaty partner. So we struggled. When you don't have a forum for freedom and you don't have a forum for justice, you march. You use your human strength, your spiritual dignity, and you embark upon a campaign for human dignity. So we've lived all of our lives struggling in this country since Columbus came with those 5 papal bulls, and one of which says that we are not human beings. So I believe the intergenerational knowledge that has this young man that came. First of all, let's go back to Jeti Shakoi. Was the front line, I realized, not only for my people, but for all Indigenous people, and for all of Americans who faced poisoned drinking water. For 20 million Americans, we represent those people and the entire human race. Mother Earth is tilted, and she will never be put back in her place. She's on a movement that none, you or I cannot change. So we are the original greenkeepers of Mother Earth, and we have an obligation. So the camp was a traditional camp. A precedence that we had before with another camp called Mad Bear Camp on the South Dakota side. We are Dakota territory. So we are in the states of North Dakota and South Dakota. The camp was at Cannonball. It's called Ia Wahahaki. It's a sacred process of the water grinding from underneath that made cannonballs. Cannonball is the English term that this country only has a collective memory of war. So it was turned into cannonball, and which you use for war. But in our language, it's a sacred stone. So we created Sacred Stone Camp. And I want to say that I give honor and praise to this man here, Nathan Phillips, who stood in the front lines with us, because people of all calibers came. And he came with a triple or quadruple representation. He's a spiritual man. Remember, it wasn't cool to be Indian. I'm 70 years old, and 40 of those years it was not cool to be Indian. So I was often called black, because that's the worst discriminatory name you could give someone. When you grow up being pushed down, and the doctrine of discovery from the papal bulls, the Vatican, comes into play for domination with dominating. So this man here came, and the effigies that are in those sacred stones, we have obligations, lessons for the next generation. So there's one for murdered mothers who survived the rape and murder of our women. We honor them at that camp. Those effigies are in stone in our sacred camp. The second one is Akichika. This man is a Vietnam veteran. This man fought not only for our country, but for this entire nation. Standing Rock is a land of military veterans who served in the United States military. So we honor them. They are the highest. And in the effigies, we are obligated to never leave the Akichita behind. because they have the role of protecting and having their back to the enemy for our people. This man was a spiritual leader, a veteran, and the best of our people who came forward. Honorable, loving, humble, absolute hero from our homeland. The best that we can offer to this world. So I was deeply moved. I quit being a crybaby at 40. I could speak with strength and tenacity, and I mastered the English language. I learned everything, and I became a spoiled American. And now I am a spoiled Lakota. It's my way or no way. So I'm demanding honor and dignity and repatriation for this man who is of the human race, who represents the red race of the Western Hemisphere, not an animal. You look in your history. You need to review your history, the American history. In the Constitution, the black man is 3/5 human and 1/5 animal. We as American Indian, and I am American Indian, I will never be Native. Based on the oral history of the Indian people in Central America when Columbus came. He called us Indios. He wasn't lost. India wasn't on the map yet. It was Hindustan. So there was no India to be lost for spices and gold. Our history is oral history. We are Indios with God, in God, children of God. We know who we are. And we were so beautiful, humble, loving people that this famous slave trader from Portugal called Cristobal Colon could not make slaves out of us because we were not afraid of death. We were not afraid to die. So imagine all the ones who were potential slaves on the streets of Portugal diving off those ships and the great monetary loss to that slave trader. That's our history. From here on out, it's our history. We tell. But we know we have institutional barriers to overcome. And one of the demands that I make as a matriarch of natural law is that the Catholic hierarchy fund fully the education and training with true thought that we are beautiful human beings that pre-existed the colonization of our homelands. That they tell the truth, that they are thieves that stole our land and made their laws and violated their own constitution. U.S. Supreme Court Justice crossed the church with the state in the Constitution of the United States. So, major institutional barriers. There's the history behind what this man here fought for. My brother, my uncle, my father. And as women, we didn't come here with a separate struggle because we're only 1% of Indigenous people left. So we march and struggle together as a people. So we created the March for Indigenous Peoples. This man is a hero in our homeland. No one disrespects that young boy. He's an American KKK. I have to stutter my English language on purpose. Because that's what it is. No one is superior to us. We can do anything, we become you. But we're not capitalists. So we're going to remap our territories, not based on the old archaeological societies that came from Europe. We're mapping them based on our own ideology. I don't know that word. Our ideals. And we tell our children today, think Indian. Project your ideas, your belief systems, because we have some beautiful, beautiful belief systems that will be good for America. So new principles. And I'm a dual citizen. I am Lakota, Dakota. First, in Article 13 of the 1868 Treaty, I'm an American, granted with full freedoms and immunities granted to all Americans. I am American. I own America. And I will help to build it with the principles and the doctrines and the transparency of the real democracy. And I know in 2007, we were overwhelmed by young Americans who responded to us when we marched. We presented our papers to the Foreign Service Division in the State Department for our independence 10 years ago. And we just filed 10 claims, maybe 17, based on the capitalist world money. There is not enough money in the U.S. Treasury to ever repay us for what we have gone through. But we are asking for reparations, perhaps for the 38 plus 2 that were hanged by executive order. Trump does not understand that we have survived executive order for death. We are survivors. We have survived massacres, numbers of our women and our children. Know who we are. We stopped the second part of the expansion in the United States, and we've suffered the retribution. Manifest destiny was created for us. We are reborn. We are woke, and America is woke with us. And as Indigenous people, we made it for Indigenous people because we have to be autonomous. You saw what happened with the Right to Life March. White America became the minority in 2010. Only 7 years that they've been the minority. So they're fighting with all due respect, because our world respects everyone. When you see our belief systems and you see our 7 sacraments outmaster the Catholic Church, it doesn't say do not discriminate in the negative. It says treat everyone alike in the positive. It doesn't say adopt, outsell our children and take away our families and break them up. We have hunka. We adopt in. We pick and choose our relatives, man and woman of any color. We all have relatives, have adopted family in Holland, whose ancestors were part of the underground for Anne Frank. Had people who went to prison for Japanese help that they hid in their houses on San Francisco Bay. I've had great mentors, women mentors, and acknowledged the suffering of American women with suffrage. We're now looking for the voting rights enactment law that's been sitting on the congressional table for 5 years. So we're on a path, we're on a mission, an aggressive campaign to restore the dignity for our grandchildren. We are human beings. We're the beautiful red race of the Western Hemisphere. And we have a lot to offer in terms of our customary law that has been an empty box for 100 years. We're making that a circle. We're putting our customary laws in there. We're exercising them, and we're sharing them, and we're embracing, and we're adopting in, and we're bringing in. So we have a beautiful, beautiful world, and I want to tell him, my brother, Lilo Wopila. We were standing on the steps of the interior building Friday morning, and he saw me, but he did a quick look, and then he did a double take, and we embraced on those steps. We acknowledged each other, the warriors. We were warriors together at Ochetesha Camp. He is my hero. I have the utmost in love and respect for Akichita, and for the spirituality and the humility. I wrote him a thank you on Facebook. I thanked him for his tenacity and his grit and his respect, that he never faltered, and that he was Akichita and he could look anyone in the eye because he fought for this land and our people. So I thank him publicly, and I make a livelihood by selling star quilts, which is our way, and it takes the place of the buffalo robe. And at some point when he comes home to my homeland, I will present him with a buffalo robe for what he has done for all of America. But I had one left over, and there's a reason why. I guess I said, well, I didn't sell one, but that's okay because I got gas money to get home. And I just happened to have a green one that we're fighting for green, that our struggle is about creating green and promoting the Green New Deal on the Hill and sustaining life for all of us. A beautiful journey that we're embarking upon. He is a warrior. He's Akichita. So I want to present him with this star quilt. And I think Tukashla made it green, and he made me not sell it. And so I was not going to take it home either, but I happened to have it for... So we're going to sing an honor song for him, honor him for withstanding the racism, the mistakes they made, whatever they may be, and I pray for this young boy to find a way outside the square box of the Christianity, the raising, the upbringing that he had. I pray for his health. So here's my nephew Travis will be singing an honor song for Nathan. Wopila, Lila Wopila.
I had the opportunity and honor of singing with Nathan at camp, all over camp, up at the front lines. When we came back to DC after camp, we were all chased out of our homes. We sang together in, up on the march. We sang together at the Washington Memorial. And then we all went to New York and we sang at the UN. We sang at I got chased off at the Trump doorway at Trump Plaza. But anyway, then we had a round dance at Grand Central Square, and I thought they were going to stop us, but the cops liked us, and the soldiers, and the Desert Storm uniforms, they were all for us. A lot of the New York people, on the subway were for us because we were standing up for life. Everybody had water to drink all their life, and that's what we're fighting for. So, even though, everything going on, they still need water. So anyway, we made this, I taught at Oceti, and I taught a lot of singers before we left, and we called ourselves the Backwater Bridge Singers, and he was one of them. And so, he knows the song, and it's a World War II veteran song. And they say, back then they said, Lakota Hokshila, because they were taking the elders said they're taking our young boys at the age of 17 off to war. And so they always said, when they made those songs, they said, Lakota Hokshila. So we're going to say, I don't know how to say boy in Omaha, but we're going to say, he's Omaha Hokshila, because that's when he went off to war, he was a young boy. And our second push-up, he's a Oceti Shakoi veteran. So we're going to acknowledge all Oceti Shakoi vets here. So anyway, I just want to explain about this song and how much it means to me, because it's on my CD. I don't know if you've ever heard my CD, but I just want to share that with that. It's quite an honor for us, and me and Raymond, we sang together a lot with him, and so it's quite an honor to be here with my daughter to sing this.
Thank you.
And it means we're chasing the enemy. We're chasing the toka. To us, the toka was a black snake.
We need everyone very quickly to come up and shake his hand and thank him.
Well, you guys are coming up here shaking his hands, so thank you all. I just want to pass on some information. Last year, was our first annual prayer walk over at Standing Rock, the anniversary of the closing of our Shetty Shakowin and all the camps, the resistance camps. So this is coming February 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and we're going to be back in Standing Rock over at Cannonball, and we're going to be over at the college and over at Prairie Knights Casino. We're going to be doing the second annual prayer walk from the Cannonball Community Center to the Morton County Courthouse, where we will have a victorious round dance over there on the fourth day of our walk. So we encourage all of you to come and join I and Nathan as we walk from Cannonball to the Morton County Courthouse for the anniversary of the eviction of the camps over there at the resistance camps. Also, Nathan is trying to make it to Ohio by Tuesday for an action over there at the diocese over there, which is a part of the Covington Diocese. So they're going to go to Ohio on Tuesday, and they're going to say prayers over there at that diocese so that he can continue his work like that. And he's meeting his daughter over there, and they're going to make their presence there, take that sacred space up, you know. So we really thank everyone for their generous contributions. We thank a lot of people that have been helping him, because now, as you all know, Nathan, his message is being heard. And if those of you that want to know how to reach him, you just go to the Native Youth Alliance page on Facebook. It's been there for years, and then Nathan's been on that. That's his non-profit. He's been on this for a couple of decades. He would go to these different reservations and encourage youth to dance and to be able to take their culture back. And he lost his wife to cancer just about 4 years ago. And his wife used to help take care of him. And he has a daughter and a son. And so he's a family person. And he's a veteran. And he's also a spiritual elder. And so he is the director of the Native Youth Council. So if you guys want to get on that page and find out some information and put your names and address on there and everything that you can, put out there to help encourage Nathan and have him access to other information that you can share with him if you'd like to. So we thank all of you for your presence here today, and we thank you all for your patience with us as we go through this, because this is our way as we acknowledge our veterans. When they come home or when they're being honored, we shake hands like that. We give him a hug, and give him words of encouragement and tell him that, that he's a good man for what he did. And he stands up for all our people like that, and I'm really proud of him. Me and Nathan met each other over at Haskell Indian Junior College back in 1976 after he had gotten out of service, and I was playing football in 1 year, and but then at the same time I was still going to the 49s, but that was pretty good though. But one of the things that I accomplished over there when I was at Haskell was I got the opportunity to see Bob Marley live in concert, so I was really glad to do that, So that was. But my greatest accomplishments are my sons, Ryan and Rain Kingfisher, and they've taken up the Native American church way, and they're really into it now. They poke fire, they sing songs, and they're carrying on the traditions of their family, the Kickapoos and Potawatomis down there in Kansas. And so I'm really proud of them, and it's good to see a lot of people that I know here on this incredible Indigenous Peoples March that we're at. And I was glad to be able to help out Sleepy Eye and his son over here sing their prayer song when we were out there on Friday morning. So it's good to see my brother Sleepy Eye, my nephew there. So we're all here in a good way, We're all here to stay positive and learn things and help each other to learn about how we are and how we need to be better people for our youth and our future. So So it looks like it's going to take about another 20 minutes. Anybody else want to talk? But anyway, so I just want to say before before I go, if anybody wants to, I'm on. There's a site on your browser. You can go to Last Prayer at Standing Rock, Final Prayer at Standing Rock, and if you have any extra money, go to your bookstore and get the December issue of National Geographic. I and Nathan are in the centerfold over there because we're wildlife preservers. So at this time, we got our gentleman, CPI, and we have this other, I can't remember your name. Keese was also one of the singers that was the last ones to leave over there when the incident happened. So we have witnesses here that are also in our presence here of what first-hand witnesses of what the incident that happened to make everything what's going on here. So at this time, Keese and CPI and his son are going to sing a honor song. So just continue on and shaking hands and honoring our veteran, Mr. Nathaniel Phillips.
for tuning in, everybody. In the basement.
So we have a couple more presentations for
Random
Nathan.
church here in DC.
So before we move on with the program.
Just an honoring for Nathan Phillips.
To talk to it. If I can ask my brother Keith also to come and stand. This way.
And this is the part where
Nadasawisa Kampanayu Mishum Natui Squat.
I gotta cut it.
Wachi Pamanaki. Wachi Siwanaki. Ning Wachi. Omniscient Tampalog. My given name is Eileen Hindu. I'm Butterfly Woman. I'm from the Shinnecock Indian Nation in Southampton, Long Island, New York. And I'm also a descendant of the ancestors that lived on this land. We called ourselves the Anishinaabe from Maine all the way down to the Carolinas. And I was asked by many of our tribal leaders that couldn't be here today, and even the, are there any Piscataway people here? Okay. By Chief Billy Tyak and the representatives and the community members from these areas. This is the Chesapeake Bay watershed
All right, guys, thank you.
area.